My cat is behind me. Well, I'm using Zoom, so it looks weird. I hope everybody are doing great and that all of you are staying safe wherever you are. Well, it is unusual for me to talk about something that is non-class related. It is actually requested by our graduates for me to share my experience, not my experience, for me to share the some tips and probably strategy on how to win scholarships, especially to for continuing education, especially to other countries. So we're going to talk about that probably in 15 minutes or so. Let me just, as usual, I prepared some slides. I have a weekly consultation session every Friday at 4 to 5 for those who are interested to consult with me, to talk with me basically about how to apply for scholarship, how to prepare documents, how to overcome the cross-cultural understanding, preparing, um, yourself mentally, physically to, before going abroad, before studying abroad. Let me share my slides. Hang on, guys. All right. So this is the slide that I have for the consultation on Friday. Scholarship hunting. Actually, there are 10 tips that we're going to talk about today on how to win scholarship, especially abroad. Okay, so the first one, you need to know what you want. I'm pretty sure that you know about yourself best. What you want to do, your objective academically, which field of study you really want to pursue, what field of study you really want to explore. Of course, it needs to be in line with whatever you do in your undergrad, right? Most of you plan to further your study to get a master's degree. So knowing what area of study that you would like to go to for your grad studies, and you need to ask yourself the reason why you would like to explore that area or you choose that particular area to study in. And then the location. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Got a phone call and text message. But all right. So where? The location. Which country you really want to go to and why? Okay. Um, of course, you have a particular consideration before choosing which country. Some of you would like to go to Australia because you really want to meet the kangaroos. I'm kidding. Because probably it is the country that is going to be able to accommodate you best. Some of you really want to go to the US, because US is really diverse and it has a good education system. Some of you would like to go to Europe, okay? And when? So you need to prepare some kind of timeline, what you want to do, when you want to do it, okay? So usually, if you want to further your study to the next level, you need to prepare some kind of timeline when you really want to pursue your study, when is the best time for you to start the application. And also very important in this case is the funding. So which scholarship provider are you targeting? And you need to think about how you are going to apply the knowledge that you get from your study to help your people when you return. The second one, we need to conduct tremendous research related to the scholarship provider, the study destination, the requirements needed for a particular scholarship or from the particular schools. So, for example, is it going to be if you want to go to Australia, you can you can apply for the Australian Award Scholarship, and you can choose the LPDP scholarship. So LPDP stands for Lembaga Pengelola Dana Pendidikan, I think, if I'm not wrong. So the scholarship is from the Indonesian Department of Finance. So LPDP is from Indonesia actually, and it's provided for those who are interested to study basically all over the world. Or Erasmus if you want to go to Europe. Fulbright, of course, the US if you're interested to study in the US. The DAAD if you're interested to study in Germany. Manbuka Gagusho if you're interested to study in Japan, or some other scholarships available. So once again, do a lot of research. And then number 3, you need to pay attention to the to your academic progress, especially in terms of your GPA. I would say that most scholarships are awarded not only based on this particular academic progress, so GPA, like if you have a high GPA, then automatically you're going to get a scholarship. It's not like that. For most of the scholarships, they also consider merits, one of the considerations in awarding the scholarship. Number 4 is, of course, related to language related preparation. So you need to make sure, depending on where you're going to go, you need to prepare your language competency by demonstrating your proficiency through some kind of test. So whether it is TOEFL or IELTS for English, for German, I'm not really sure what it is, or Japanese, or if you would like to go to, some European countries, I'm pretty sure that you need to, like French, for example, if you want to go to French, I'm pretty sure that you need to prepare those languages as well. Some countries also require some additional scores. For example, if you want to continue to study your grad study in the US, you need to demonstrate that you have a good GRE score. Like for general, I would say for general grad studies, especially for business or management, or I would say economics, you will need to take the GMAT. I think it stands for Graduate Management Admission Test. According to my personal experience, I took GRE tests for 4 times. One time before I went for my master's, and 3 times before I went for my my PhD. I know it was ridiculous. It was really hard. GRE is no joke. It's a really, really, really hard test, at least for me personally. So I would suggest that you need to prepare this particular test ahead of time. That you need to have enough time to prepare for this particular test, because it is really hard. This is the language test. So you need to do some research on this. Well, this is in Bahasa to make it easier. So we know that we have IELTS, we have different kinds of TOEFL tests. So IELTS, the International English Language Testing System, it will be accepted by almost all universities all over the world, and also the same case with TOEFL IBT. This is the internet-based tests. So all universities in the world are going to accept this particular score of language competency. And there is also what we call the TOEFL ITP. This is the paper-based test. So usually it can only be used locally. So if you plan to, for example, to apply for the Fulbright scholarship, you can use this particular score from the ITP TOEFL test. But then when you're selected for the scholarship, you are going to have to attend the TOEFL IBT test. And this one is very expensive. This one is rather expensive. Well, it is very expensive. It's around like 3 million rupiah in Indonesian currency. So the IELTS almost the same. The cost is almost the same. You need to pay almost the same amount of money for the IELTS. And then TOEFL ITP is much cheaper. That's why I would suggest for the beginners, you need to take this particular test. And then you can see on the IELTS test, you are going to have the listening, reading, writing, speaking sections. TOEFL IBT, the same thing, the same sections. And for TOEFL ITP, the writing and speaking are absent. Okay, so it's much simpler and much shorter. Also, related to the time spent in the test. And then this is the scoring. For the IELTS, your score is going to be from 0 to 9. So 9 is the highest. And TOEFL IBT is from 0 to 120. 120 is the highest. Wow. My score was only 106, I believe. So it's not high. It's not crazy high, but it's not, but I hope it's not low either. But just enough, to go to the university over there. And then for TOEFL ITP, the score is from 217 to 677. And these are the providers or the testing centers. So IDP, British Council, Cambridge English language assessments for IELTS, and then ETS for the TOEFL. For GRE and GMAT, the tester, the test provider is also ETS. But you need to check with the providers. I mean, you need to check with the test providers because sometimes they will collaborate with university language centers. So I'm pretty sure that some tests are also available, especially the ITP, are also available in some language centers all over Indonesia. One thing that you need to also remember that your academic experience is not going to be enough without organizational experience or professional experience in this case. You can obtain your organizational experience or professional experience when you are involved in a student organization, for example, in your campuses, or community service. So you can also communicate with your lecturers or your advisors and ask if they need assistance in their research or their community service. So when you're involved in their activities, in their in their research activities, you can write it down in your vita, in your curriculum vitae, because it is also very important that you present a beautiful curriculum vitae to apply the scholarships. And of course, we're going to talk about curriculum vitae or resume, okay? You need to make sure that your curriculum vitae is presentable, is sophisticated, because basically curriculum vitae displays your achievements, things that you have accomplished during your study or after your study, after you graduate from your university, and you are involved in some professional activities and you have a job, you need to display those, record those activities in your curriculum vitae. The next thing that is also super important is being able to present a convincing personal motivation or motivation statement. Motivation statement or personal statement will be about the reason why you choose the field of study, the reason why you plan to further your study to the next level, the reason why it is important for you to equip yourself with a different degree, and how you are going to basically apply the experience, the knowledge that you get from your grad studies to your community, to help your community. I think we have talked about that in the previous slide. Um, the next one is letter of recommendation or support from the people around you. This is very important, and because we need a support from others to tell, for example, our scholarship provider that we are qualified for the scholarship, that we are the one that need to be chosen for the scholarship. So in order to get a letter of recommendation, I would say that you need to make sure that you have a good communication. You need to have a good relationship with your advisor, with your lecturer, with your supervisor if you are at work. They have a lot of people to remember. So it is very important for you to be able to stand out from the crowd. Somebody who is going to provide you with a letter of recommendation, they are going to be those people who know you best. So you need to make sure, once again, that you have a good relationship with these particular people. The next one is health and wellness. Well, living in another country is no joke. It's unpredictable. I'm not talking about the weather, but also especially the diets. You know, you're going to have to eat different kind of food. Maybe you're not going to be prepared for that. The activities, obviously you are going to do a lot of activities that are going to be physically, not only physically but also mentally demanding. So taking care of yourself, keeping yourself healthy, will be great before you go abroad. The last one, I know it is not easy. It is easier said than done. But never give up. We need to keep the never give up mentality. Everything is possible. When you say impossible, if you say it very slowly, in fact, it is I am possible, right? So even though you are going to have the long and winding road to the destination that you really dream of, you are going to have a lot of pebbles and stones along the way. It doesn't mean that the dream is impossible. You can make it happen. So, those are 10 tips for you who are currently on scholarship hunting for further consultation. You can also have a consultation with Mr. Yogi. His specification is studying in Australia or the majority of Commonwealth countries. He is the LPDP awardee And he can be reached at clc@president.ac.id. And with me, we can talk about preparing your study in the US or Canada. And my studies have been funded both by Fulbright Scholarship. Both are in the US, of course. And you can email me at clc@president.ac.id as well. And for those who are interested to have a consultation about studying in the University of Glasgow, you can contact Mr. Alvin Firdaus. This is his email, alvin.firdaus@glasgow.ac.uk. He is the International Officer for Indonesia, the International Recruitment and Partnership. And actually, this is some additional sources. You know that I have my YouTube channel. You are watching one of the videos right now. I promise I'm going to upload all the videos, all the consultation videos that we do at CLC. So if you have questions, you can send your email to clc@president.ac.id, or if you need an assistance related to language competency developments, you can email the PDC, the Professional Development Center of PU, at pupdc@president.ac.id. Um, this is the Instagram account of CLC, so don't forget to follow our Instagram accounts at CLC Press Unit. CLC also actually has its own YouTube channel, which is called the President University CLC. And this is my YouTube channel. You know that. You know that. Alrighty. So that's our discussion for today about scholarship hunting. I'm going to see you soon in the upcoming consultation. Don't forget, my schedule for the consultation is every Friday at 4 to 5. Don't forget to register by sending your email to clc@president.ac.id. Stay safe wherever you are. Take care of yourself and people around you. Bye, guys.